means is suspense. And also make sure that the track is clean, because we saw a little tumultuous carbon fiber, a little bit of rubber here, a little bit of scrapes there. Regardless, thank you for joining us here for our Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge here at the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. So in just a little bit, thank you so much, guys, gals, children of all ages. You paid for the whole seat, but you're only going to use the edge. DJ E-Gas, go and turn it up if you will. How we doing, everybody? Thank you for joining us. We are getting ready for open practice. 8 drivers. Make some noise, Long Beach. You've been out here sweating it out. Guess what? We got a nice breeze, some cool cars, and your butts in the seats. Thank you, guys and gals, for joining us out here. Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. Corey Hosford, the boss, is in the building. Thank you so much for joining us. Man, it looks like he ate all the hot dogs before showing up here to the high tower, so thank you for joining us. A good time. I'm Jared Deanna. Joining me up here in the booth once again. I say once again because we were here last weekend with that reverb action. Squealing tires and squealing little headphones there, no big deal. Lontaine, we are back here again. Exciting to be back here on turns 9, 10, and 11 of this iconic track. Good to see you, man.
Nice to see you. It's been a long time.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me, and that's about exactly the time that we saw each other, here for round 1 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. But the Formula Drift Super Challenge has become just such a highlight of this awesome weekend. I mean, I don't know if you know the history, but Formula One, IndyCar, Champ Car, IndyCar, now sports car. I mean, so many different sanctioning bodies have been on the streets. How cool is it to be here and seeing drift cars on this iconic track?
Yeah, I love coming here during this weekend because we get to introduce the sport to people that maybe don't know much about it, maybe haven't seen it live before, and they get to see it here on this iconic track. I can't imagine being here back when F1 was here. It must have been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, they literally were up there, from ocean to shoreline. They'd come down this, and you could pull up the, you had Lauda, you had some iconic names, Piquet, you had so many different drivers, but regardless, they're gonna learn drifting and learn drifters' names as we have a whittled down 8, because this is an invitational, so we have a variety of a few different drivers that I think are obviously really amazing, and that being Dean Carnage Carney. He's driving his HyperNFT.io. It's all about NFTs and on the metaverse, but also he's got his new body style Dodge Viper, twin turbo, SRT10. Walk us through who else we have out here. And also notably, there's 4 of the vehicles that are their pro vehicles that were in last week's competition as well.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this event is that we get to introduce new drivers as well. Forrest Wang, of course, has been here before, but he isn't
He's
currently
won here on this track.
Yeah, but he isn't currently competing, so this is nice to see him here in his S15. Trenton Beecham is here in his Ford Mustang. Might upset some of the purists. I heard it's LS. GM engine powered.
You know what? I just assumed because he's been running some different, running a Ford power plant, but here we are. He's running LS.
Just maybe for this round. I don't know how long he's doing it for, but it definitely is in there. Brandon Sorensen, is he running his backup car? I think maybe it's not his comp car. I think.
Yeah, Chris Yule gave me a thumbs up. Yeah, because in his pro car, he has the blue bumper. He switched to a pink bumper, which is his sister's bumper, who runs a pro spec. But then the red one, I don't know if he's taking a red pill or a blue pill. Regardless, he's taking the red bumper.
Yes. And then we have Rome Charpentier. I'm
yeah,
say it.
See? Charpentier. No, it's called Charpentier.
Charpentier.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's here in his BMW. Kyle Mohan brought out a different car as well. He's in his Mazda Miata from previous seasons.
MX-5. Put some respect on it.
MX-5. I was speaking to a spotter, and he was saying that their car ran so well last weekend, and they had no issues mechanically. They didn't get close to the wall, and they didn't want to risk it this weekend, so they brought out the MX-5. And then we have Mike Essa and Alec Robbins in their competition cars, I believe.
Yeah, you quickly glance past Michael Essa, who's a former champion. Who is in his FCP Euro, Liqui-Moly, Bilstein shock absorbers, BMW in his comp car. So.
This is why Jared should do the introductions, because he knows everybody's sponsors.
Not at all. No, I like getting this perspective, and I think your first event last weekend, you did great. We got rave reviews and just me to you. Absolutely, I love the insight that you give, and again, it's very difficult. It's an unenviable job being a judge, with traditional motorsports and traditionalists of motorsports. Checker flag, who's the first to the finish line? Who has the clean race line? This. Quite the contrary, but you're running the razor's edge. I think you learn a lot about the dynamics of a vehicle with the acumen of drifting. So when you do the act of that, and we saw that in sports cars. Do you see the Porsche slide around there, the Haggerty Porsche? It was the dude, he was coming literally around this. He was not a drift car, it wasn't absolutely counter-steered, but it looked exciting and made it look dynamic. So everybody wants to do that in a vehicle.
They do.
All that being said, I think it's going against the norm of being the fastest. It's subjective. So maybe walk us through what the criteria we're looking at before we go into practice.
Yeah, Jared, this every Formula Drift event, we have 3 main criteria. The first one is line, and line deals with where the cars are placed on the track. We generally have outside zones, inside clips, and touch and goes throughout the course. Of course, here we're not really able to mark them as well as we did last weekend, but you can see the rubber that was laid down from last weekend, which really indicates where the car should be going on the track. So here we want them to get wide after that first corner to the wall, and then transition wide again to what we would call outside zone 2, which is just under that red bridge right there. From there to go to outside zone 3, which is along this wall in front of the judging tower here. And then they need to transition the car over to touch and go number 1, which is driver's left just before going into that hairpin. Of course, the hairpin itself does have an inside clip there, and then they finish wide driver's left. So that's the line portion. Then we look at the angle of the vehicle. So the car needs to run an amount of angle that allows it to maintain momentum throughout the course. We don't want them throwing too much angle, which would slow them down.
Yep.
We also don't want them to run too little angle, which would make them too fast and get away from the chase car. So there's kind of this middle ground that we want them to run where it looks great and is functional as well, I guess you can say. And the angle is looked at throughout the entirety of the course. And then the style portion is a little bit more complex, and it has changed this year.
Yeah.
Style looks at the transitions, the initiation, and then what we call X factors. And X factors are really what set each driver apart from one another out there on the track. So it's that little extra bit that'll make them look more exciting, maybe a little more dangerous, you know, and approaching the track edges with a lot of confidence. So using the vehicle's momentum to get out wide to those track edges, or in this case, at this track, walls, which is, of course, pretty risky.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, there's going to be a little gray area because we cannot denote on the track where there's at, because we're kind of playing in the house that IndyCar built, and open wheel racing built. So, you know, be a little bit flexible here. It's about, you know, we're about to go live around the world. So thank you so much for joining us here in the stands, but also let's bring in the rest of the world to tune in for the Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. We'll clean up on aisle 1 and we'll get back to the action here at the famous streets of Long Beach. Welcome to the world.
For those who don't settle when others do, who will give everything but won't give up. For those who believe in unlimited while others limit themselves. For those who are set free by performance and believe innovation can take you anywhere.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Your first ever three-peat champion, 2017, 2018, and now 2019 Formula Drift champ. It is James the Machine Dean. We have solidified a champion in James Dean. The three-peat has happened for the first time ever in FD history.
After winning a championship, you should be on top of the world, you know. But I think that hurt.
I mean, you can open a can of worms there if you want.
One of the top drivers there to suddenly watching it on the live stream.
You don't just disappear or split from a team after winning 3 championships together.
There's nothing else in this earth that gives me that same feeling, so just trying to get that feeling back, really.
Even when things aren't going his way, he will try and pull something out of the bag to bring things around.
I would be lying if I said that I didn't want to win or that I don't have high hopes. I have the highest of hopes.
He's the best drifter in the world right now.
I absolutely wouldn't change anything. We've had our struggles, don't get me wrong, but I think they make the good times so much better.
So yeah, exciting times ahead. Let's see how it works out.
They're all delighted over there that James isn't there right now.
I'm more nervous now than I was with his first competition, to be honest.
Yeah, you gotta stay hungry in everything you do, I think. Otherwise, you're retired.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call to quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve. Stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep.
Welcome back. Thank you so much. We are about to go into head-to-head competition. First, they're going to warm up their tires, ripping past the main grandstand. That is Michael Essa. Michael Essa's out here in the building. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jared Deanna, joining me here in the booth once again. We had round 1 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. The first weekend of May, we will be in Atlanta for round 2, but right now we are celebrating our 8-car invitational. I unfortunately did see Brandon Sorensen go by. Right now, Kyle Mohan, the menace. He's from right here in Long Beach, California. Here's the bracket, Long Beach Super Drift Challenge. Ryan Sage up here. I'm going to bring you in here. What are your thoughts on who to watch?
Well, you just mentioned that Sorensen got towed off, so Dean Carney may get himself a little buy run here into the top 4. Carney, like you said, is running that new Viper, and then Sorensen is in his backup BMW, so hopefully they can get it started and get it working. And then we have Beecham and Wang. Wang has been here many, many times before and has one of those styles that makes him really stand out on this track. That's big swing from big angle to big angle between the walls. It looks really dramatic, so Beecham's going to have his work cut out for him there. And then, of course, the other battles. Who do we have there? We have Charpentier, Mohan. Mohan was looking great here last weekend, but he's in an unfamiliar car. And then we've got Essa and Robbins, who, of course, were looking great here last weekend as well.
All right, well, we are moments away. Let's take a look at this track. You talked about it, Ryan, in the pre-show, but let's take a look. Outside zones, 1 inside clip, and 1 touch and go. Walk us through it.
So you see that decel area, that's right at the initiation point. So the cars, of course, are expected to slow down there a little bit when they get to angle, but they need to get back on throttle as quickly as possible. So if we see them still slowing down or grabbing a handbrake or anything, from our viewpoint when they come live under the bridge, that's too late. They need to be back on throttle by about halfway around that corner and then go all the way wide to outside zone 1, get their bumper right up to the wall. We don't want to use that wall as like a bumper, kind of keep them on the track.
A decel wall where it's going to slow you down? Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, you know when you go bowling, they've got those little bumpers in the gullies. You don't want to use it for that. No. So just get out there, rub the bumper on both walls, get close to outside zone 3, get the car rotated for inside clip 1, nice and tight on that clip.
This was last weekend, and this is what you got to see, or you didn't see. But guess what? There are 8 rounds of competition. Only 1 is in the bag, and that gentleman right there, the Renex Type R, the GR Corolla, excuse me, he got the overall victory. We saw some calamity, saw some crashing. That's Matt Field and Frederick Osbo. Matt Field throwing up the horns, but throwing it into the wall. And there is a celebratory win for your points leader and round 1 winner. Ryan Turk grabs the win in his Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla on Nitto tires. So again, it all culminates again. The traveling circus that is Formula Drift will be at Road Atlanta Mother's Day weekend at 6th and 7th. Just, it's gonna, gosh, I mean, that's literally a month from now.
Yep, it's coming up fast.
So it was an awesome event that we had here. And if you're here in Southern California, if you're in the stands, guess what? It is not too far from here, about an hour to Irwindale, California, but the entirety of the season, you know, we make our way to Seattle. There it is. Thank you so much. Gosh. Atlanta, Georgia next weekend, Orlando, Florida, E-Town, June 9th and 11th, St. Louis, Missouri, and then we move on to Monroe, Washington. Always a great battle in Seattle, and a new track for us in Utah, and ending up here in Irwindale, California. Always love visiting Atlanta. It's probably my favorite track, but guess what? It's kind of like choosing your kids. It's hard to say which one your favorite is, but Atlanta is. So go ahead and buy your tickets now. Join us in the building or join us online, but you know, it's always like, okay, the live stream, it's great. You know, we get to listen to Jared and now Ryan Lontaine yell at us. But being in the building at the house that Smoke built, you gotta be there. So AutoZone, Road to the Championship, presented by Type S, May 6th and 7th. Come join us at the infamous Michelin Raceway, AKA Road Atlanta, Drift Atlanta, in Brazelton, just about an hour outside of Atlanta. It's a party. What's your favorite track, Ryan?
Well, Atlanta, you can't beat that feeling.
Right.
Like I said,
we're on screen.
I'm really looking forward to going to Utah though, because it's new. It's a different track that I haven't been to. None of these guys have driven there, so it's exciting to see what's going to happen once we get there.
Thank you so much for joining us again. I'm Jared Deanda. This is Ryan Lontaine. No, that's Ryan. I'm Jared. Thank you so much for joining us as our Super Drift Challenge event and our invitational here. Just 8 drivers, and like we said, Brandon Sorensen unfortunately getting towed off. Hopefully he gets his car back and started. But 4 pro vehicles that were here last weekend are in the building. Those are the ones to watch in my eyes. Like I said, Alec Robbins, Michael Essa, Dean Carnage Carney, and Rome Charpentier of that Garagistic E36. But do not count out Forrest Wang. We talked about Trenton Beecham and Kyle Mohan. Kyle Mohan is in his backup car, his MX-5, which you called a Miata, which is correct. But that thing is as wide as it is front to back. You're watching practice as we're getting things warmed up here. This is Alec Robbins in his Facetto Nissan 350Z. And that is Forrest Wang in that chase position, that getting us laboratory. This is our last practice here, our last practice full pull. And Ryan, we talked about it last weekend, but Friday to Saturday, Friday the track, it was hot. It was kind of like today was. Yep. Saturday, a lot cooler. Consistency. How do you think the track's going to play a role here in tonight's festivities?
Well, it was a very hot day today. The sun definitely had that track really warm, and now that the sun is down behind the aquarium, it might get different. You know, it might change, and that could be challenging for these drivers. And of course, this not being a competition round, we don't want them to put their cars into the wall too hard. We just saw Rome on his last practice run there back the car into the wall a little bit and shred a bumper. So he's already kind of playing with fire a little bit. We love seeing that. We just want to make sure they keep the cars together for Atlanta.
Well, I saw Rome Charpentier's mom and dad up here, and they're saying, "Look, keep it off the walls, have fun with it, but just don't break the piñata. Let's just give it a little love tap, not a hate tap, okay?" When we come back, we're gonna go knee deep into this Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. Ryan Lontaine, I'm Jared Deanna. When we come back, head-to-head competition here on the streets of Long Beach.
Throttle! Official sponsor of Formula Drift. Join the social app for car enthusiasts. Show off your rides. Connect with Formula Drift drivers and fans. Find your crew. Locate events. Watch exclusive Formula Drift clips powered by Throttle. Join the social app that brings together car lovers from across the globe. Go full throttle and download the app now.
came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about.
Link is the engine management solution for champions the world over. We know what it takes to win. Pushing boundaries, performing under pressure, and having the best people on your team. Our tech support are performance specialists, available 24 hours and ready to talk one-on-one about your winning formula. Link ECU, the performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
NGK makes ignition coils. Why? Because we prefer a running partner that can keep pace. We know ignition, and since our spark plugs don't run alone, we put some of our energy and expertise into making better coils. NGK ignition coils are engineered to OE durability and performance. And because we race to win, we improve the design, testing, and validation of our coils for better performance. NGK spark plugs and coils, better together.
Hey, welcome back as we are live from the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach, and this is our exhibition of the Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. I'm Jared Deenda. Joining me to my side is Ryan Lontaine. He's doing double duty. Not only is he the co-host, but he has been a judge for multiple years, and he is alongside the two other judges. That is Brian Egger and Chris Ewell. So thank you so much to Chris, Brian, and Ryan, our three judges scrutinizing the runs. And we got a packed stand here, and man, standing room only on the fence. So thank you. Be respectful of your neighbors. It's been a hot one, but hopefully you got a cold drink in your hand. You're about to have a good time. Smoke in your face, tire debris in your ears. The Q-tips, when you clean them tonight, consider that a souvenir. Say, I was at the Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. That's right. You're here, live, in person. Anything else you want to add, Ryan?
Ew, Jared.
You? Why not? We're being so Canadian, bro. Come on, I'm joking. No, I mean, it is, man. Oh, what do we got?
What about a big round of applause?
Andy Luck.
Andy Luck.
Andy Luck coming in hot from outside zone 2. Now he's going counter course. He's burning up his shoes down there.
He looks a little confused. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's meandering down there. I don't know.
Is he lost?
The ODP, the Old Dirty Panda, is making his way down there, staging our vehicles. And we are about to introduce our drivers. All right. And we, I believe, are bringing them down here on the track. And we can see there on the start chicane. Getting them ready and getting on that line in a moment. All right, we are back at it like a crack addict. That's right, because we love to see drifting. Addicted to this stuff, so thank you for joining us out. Get up off that thing. That's right. All right, we are getting the cars out here so we can introduce you to who is competing here in the mix. Yep. Let's get our final 2 drivers, ideally, and we'll see if they pull up. If they pull up, we will see them. Look at this, pulling out the phones out here. He's gramming. Be sure to tag all these guys that are in the mix and let them know you're out here in the building. Got Cletus McFarland in the building. Cletus, are you here? You're flying in trucks, bro. Where are you at? Cletus McFarland in that Stadium Super Trucks. Oh, we got them all. Let's introduce you to them. Are you ready to meet your 8 drivers in the Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge? Make some noise. Oh, come on. It's hot. It's sweaty. You are ready. I said make some noise. There we go. All right, put your phone down. Put your phone down. Our first driver, our first car parked. He comes all the way from Ireland. Are you ready to party? With a Hybrid FT Dodge Viper, Dean Carnage Carney! All right, moving on down the line, a former champion, lives here in Southern California. He's got his wife, he's got his daughter, he's got his mother-in-law, he's got a bunch of family in the building. So make some noise for the FCP Euro Liquid Molly Bilstein GT Radio BMW. It is Michael Essa. Oh, it's great to see this gentleman back here with the V8. This gentleman doesn't like LS's under the hood. He's all about the JDM horsepower underneath on his S15. Let's get nuts to the Get Nuts Laboratory Zone, Mr. Forrest Wing. Another Southern California resident. He's got that Clone X next entire Mustang. Is there an LS under the hood right here? There an LS? That's right, he's saying yes. He's got the LS, he's got the bow tie, he's got the oval. Regardless, Southern California's own Trenton Beacham! This gentleman had one heck of a weekend. Talking about family, he's got all the family support, his wife, his parents, they're all here. And again, talk about the LS, he's got the BMW. Love the color scheme. His mom said, red last year, not the color. This year, this is the colorway. The Garage E-Stick BMW E36 on Federal tires. Rome Charpentier! All the way from Minnesota, don't you know? That Facetto Nissan 350Z Supercharged LS Koenig wheels. Make some noise for Alec Robbins! Dirty deeds done dirt cheap, and he is young and he's ready to fly. The United States Air Force BMW, 17 years young from the 702. That's Las Vegas. Women and children, kids of all ages. That's right. United States Air Force BMW. Make some noise for Brandon Sorensen. Last but definitely not least, from right here in Long Beach, California. That's right. He can drive that race car home in the renewable lubricants, Mazda Tricks, Mazda MX-5, Kyle the Menace Mohan. There are your 8 drivers. Are you ready to send it? Long Beach, make some noise. Hey, let's get a wave going. Let's get a wave going. It's been hot today. Let's cool down a little bit. Hey, those close to the red bridge, put your hands up. Close to the red bridge, put your hands up. That's where it's gonna start. Okay, put them down, put them down. This is how a wave works. You gotta put them down, but start there. It's gonna work its way all the way to the water, all the way around, and then come back to you, all right? Are you ready to send it? On 3, you're gonna start the wave. 1, 2, 3, send it, here we go. Formula Drift, Super Drift Challenge, baby! Woo! All right, let's take a look at this bracket, and we are going head to head. All right, so Sorensen was potentially leaking something, so got it fixed, and he will be back out there. Ryan, again, Sorensen, you know, maybe just pulled a hammy or something, and then got to stretch it out, got to work it out, and then now he's back at it to, you know.
I don't know. He
run
left
sprints.
a little puddle on the track right there.
Oh, he got a little nervous.
Made
You know,
a little nervous.
you know what? You see a dog gets excitable, you
Yeah.
pet it, maybe it tinkles a little bit. Not a big deal. He's
all right.
17 years old. Guess what? He's gonna, you know, let a little out. Now he's ready to run.
We're going to see how he does here against Dean Carney, who is, of course, a veteran here at this track in FD in general. So Dean is in that new car, 1,300 horsepower, he says, and then Brandon Sorensen's BMW, 1,000 horsepower. So we'll see what happens, Jared.
Dean Carney, I'll tell you what, again, you said competition vehicle, Sorensen's backup vehicle. Overall, the Hyper NFT Dodge Viper is one to watch. So I'm excited. Oh, boy. So as I'm excited to see that Dodge Viper out here, he's excited to see the car. Just get more dialed and just get into the mix. And I think, what do you think the strategy here is? Just get more seat time with your pro car, and that way you're kind of getting prepared for Long Beach? Or do you think they're kind of dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Could be dancing with the devil. Depends how aggressive the other driver gets. What we saw last week and with the crashing that we saw was mostly caused by other drivers getting into somebody else. You know, if you look at Matt Field and Frederick Osbo, the reason that Matt Field ended up in the wall was because the other driver got a little bit too close. So hopefully the drivers are respectful of one another. I'm not saying Osbo wasn't, but today here, hopefully they're respectful of one another. They put on a good show, but, you know, keep that little bit of distance that makes it a little bit safer so that something like that doesn't happen. Of course, nobody wants to get into the wall, but especially when it's, you know, just a month away from the next round, you want to make sure that your car's in one piece. So the driver should be getting into the burnout box shortly here, but we do have a little cleanup in aisle 3.
Kitty litter, baby.
I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm assuming it's just water, but they want to make sure it's dry for the cars coming through. This, we all know how this track gets when it gets wet.
Yeah.
It is like ice.
Yeah, so a little bit of kitty litter, it's not going to hurt anything. You know, that's not a hypercritical area. That's front tires, ideally, and you know, they're not supposed to run any, you know, obviously, you know, coolant in the car. So hopefully it's not coolant.
No.
And I don't think it's anything else. So just a quick little cleanup. But our 3 judges, thank you so much. Chris Ewell joining us here. Ryan Lontaine doing double duty here, judging and co-hosting. And last but definitely not least, Richmond, Virginia's own Brian Eggert. So those are our 3 judges. Ryan, we talked about it earlier, so maybe just elaborate real quick. Line, angle, style. Line, boom. What do we got?
Line, it's where you position your car on the track. At this track, it means getting close to the walls on every transition. So outside zone 1, all the way out to driver's left, but our right as we look under the bridge, and then transitioning under the bridge, getting close to that wall. Riding that, you can see that black line of rubber from last weekend, basically riding the outer edge of that all the way to outside zone 3, tight on touch and go. Get close with the front bumper on an inside clip, but don't hit it, don't run it over, and then finish wide driver's left. And of course, angle, you want to be running a consistent, smooth amount of angle throughout the course. You don't want to run too much angle so that the car slows down too much. You don't want to slow the car behind you down. You want to give them an opportunity to chase you and not get choked up. And then of course, style, we have transitions, we have initiation, and we have the X factor.
Yeah, I really like the X factor. I think that's just something that I've said it kind of in passing, but now it being a unit of measure, I think it's contributed a lot to just the unknown, right? The X is the unknown.
Yeah.
So I think that helps a lot.
I think it does too. In qualifying, it really helps set the drivers that are doing just that little extra bit. It separates them from the rest of the drivers. You know, we have had runs that have been perfect in terms of, you know, having no errors, but they're maybe less exciting to watch. They're a little bit too safe. So this rewards drivers for being a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more risky out there on the track.
A little bit of Monaco on your side, right? Is that what you want?
No.
No? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No?
Mambo?
Yeah. I think that's the X factor right there.
Dating
Hey,
ourselves.
thank you to Cal Club so much. Cal Club working this whole weekend. When you see the corner workers, the ladies and gentlemen in white. Hey, Pat Mordaunt in the building. The possum, the awesome possum, Pat. Thank you so much. R.I.P. the possum, but Pat's still kicking. As the Cal Club workers, they are wearing all white, and they make sure that the track is safe as Brandon Sorensen makes his way back to the start line. And we'll be getting right into it.
Well, the MX-5 looks like it's working.
Yeah, sounds like it's working.
Sounds definitely.
You know, and the lone rotary in competition.
Yes.
Slam. Da-da-da. Hopefully nobody lives up to this song, aka slamming into a wall. That's what makes a good, cohesive event. You know, tapping the wall, like, you know, they say like, oh, it's a love tap. Love taps, that's nice. That's like a little smooch, a little, hey, how's your father? But then going hard into it, nah, that's a hate tap. Nobody likes that. It slows the show down. You're messing up your car, competition. That's a hate tap.
Don't want to see any of that today. These guys are all professionals. Hopefully they can keep it off that wall. Just give it that little kiss that we're looking for, that little bumper scrape along the wall just to take off the wrap or the paint on the bumper just a little bit, and that's all we need. So we have Dean Carney getting into the burnout box, and we'll be getting started here very shortly.
All right, we got that HyperNFT.io, Dodge Viper, and then he is going against Brandon Sorensen, who we just saw had some fluids come from underneath his car. That is less than ideal, but good to see him back on the start line to have a full grade 8. Let the boys be boys and slam.
So you can see the drivers here, they don't do the typical burnout, of course. Drifting, you need to have all 4 tires warmed up equally so that you're not running into hot rear tires and cold fronts. So you can see Dean Carney here really pushing the front end of that car. You can see the fronts getting warmed up. Yeah, basically you're understeering the car around the burnout box. And so you're understeering and spinning the rear tires at the exact same time. So it's like you're doing double duty there, trying to get it done quickly and efficiently as possible. All the drivers have their different techniques. You can see Brandon here is just doing the traditional figure 8, a little bit different approach, but hopefully he does get around to those front tires, get them nice and warm as well, so that he doesn't have heat in them to chase down Dean Carney.
Yeah, I appreciate the insight that you're giving. Again, we're seeing a lot of new fans here in the bleachers or watching online. So a lot of people ask, how many tires do they go through?
A lot.
A lot. But their fronts, they don't change for an entirety of an event weekend. Yep. The backs, yes, of course. Here we go. Let's send it. Dean Carney, Dodge Viper out front. Brandon Sorensen in chase position. In the United States Air Force, BMW. Dean Carney comes into view into that turn 9. Wide swing. There's that first outside zone. Transition into the second. Under the bridge. Doesn't get all the way out there. Down to the third outside zone. Gets a little close, not all the way close. Brandon Sorensen, not the best proximity. Going offline on a touch and go to regain that proximity. And I'll tell you what, if this is an arm wrestling match, you gotta think, here's Dean Carney in his comp car, going against Brandon Sorensen in a backup car, but still obviously very competitive. So it's great to see Sorensen out here and the U.S. Air Force BMW.
That was a great run from Dean Carney. I really liked his initiation. He got the car to angle really quickly, smoothly. So if you watch here, the car snaps to angle. Watch his front wheels. You can see that they're stable. So he's maintaining angle really smoothly. Nice and wide to outside zone 1. Nice transition to 2, but he was off a little bit there. Could have been closer on 3. And you can see Brandon here kind of falling behind a little bit. Love this camera view at Inside Clip 1. Thank you, Ryan Sage and Mr. Kemp. This is beautifully done. Love that bit of footage there. It gives us a really good insight. So look at how nice and close, maybe about a foot off that wall there at outside zone 1. And then Carney could have been a little closer, but you can see the error that Brandon Sorensen made in the chase position there. You can see a bobble in his car. He had a little correction on angle. So, and then watch this view right here. As that car comes in Inside Clip 1, you can see how nice and close he gets on that clip, maybe a couple of feet off, and Brandon definitely needed to be a little bit closer.
Yeah, so a great perspective there, giving that insight and just, embracing the change here with our perspective and on taking a look at that final inside clip. And from what I understand, I was just talking to the Sorensen team. They're saying that a crank sensor came out, right? Had some so it didn't have any practice time in that BMW. Brandon hasn't driven that car since last year here, but obviously that was late last year. Regardless, Brandon Sorensen, watch him throw it down here, 17 years young. Dean Carney, he's going to chase him down, but I think he's going to tread lightly here, but maybe too lightly right now. Brandon gets all the way out there in the second outside zone. Here comes Dean Carney. A good line by Brandon Sorensen, but is it enough as Dean Carney goes around that final inside clip? So let's take a look at it again. Now, again, the judges, Ryan Lantain, Chris Yule, and Brian Egger. Lead versus lead, chase versus chase. You know, how was the Dodge Viper up front? How was it a chase? How was Brandon the BMW up front? Ryan Lantain, what are your thoughts?
It almost looked like there was a bump right there, Jared. You can see that Brandon's not 100% comfortable in the lead position there in that BMW. He's got a lot of handbrake pulls going on. Doesn't look fully settled. But in the chase position, Dean Carney's putting on the pressure. You see here Dean diving in, just giving that inside clip a tap right there. But Brandon didn't quite reach all the zones that I'm sure he'd like to reach, but Dean Carney put on the pressure. I'd like to see if there was a bump there at just after initiation. It's kind of hard to see with that that angle we had on the camera there, but either way, it was a clean run regardless of that bump. Not really a big deal. Just love to see these guys rubbing paint a little bit, but I think that was a great run from Dean Carney in the chase position. Really put on the pressure and managed to stay close to Brandon all the way through the course.
Oh man, so Dean Carnage Carney, the Dodge Viper Hyper NFT, gets the win. Congratulations to the Hyper NFT vehicle, taking hypercars to the metaverse. Take a look at hypernft.io. This is bigger than hip hop. As Brandon Sorensen, he's doing double duty, as basically he was doing short course truck racing, jumped on a plane to come here. Guess where he's going back? He's going short course racing, then he'll be back here tomorrow night. This gentleman's flying all over, turning and burning. So it's a win-win. Dean moves on. Brandon's gonna go racing tomorrow, not once, but twice. So regardless, here we go. Warming up the tires, Trent Beecham. Down by the Beecham, boy. Trent Beecham going against Forrest Wang. As Dean Carnage Carney gets the win. There are the stats. Trent Beecham. See the age, fairly similar horsepower, but you see them. So look at this. You have it's actually a Nissan Silvia S15 with the Toyota power plant. You have a Ford Mustang with a Chevy power plant. I mean, I don't even know what to believe anymore.
A right-hand drive car that's been converted to left-hand drive as well.
Facts. And the Mustang is left-hand drive?
I think so. Good one, Jared.
Yep. So we're just flipping it all up.
So these are two drivers that did not compete here last weekend.
No.
So these are their
Good
first
point.
laps on this track, which is kind of good for both of them because they are sort of, let's call it green somewhat, since they haven't driven here since probably last year when we were here. I believe they both
late
competed.
last year, late September.
Right. So, you know, what is that, 6 months, 7 months, something like that. So he's going to count them out for me.
Yeah.
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah. So but anyway, they're both going up against one another here without having been here last weekend, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Trent Beecham out front, Forrest Wang in the chase position. A little bit of slow trickle here, coming to that first outside zone. Trent, that was
very slow.
Yeah, very slow. And Beecham taking a shallow line. So Ryan, I would love for you to elaborate, because in my mind, unfortunately for Trent Beecham, that was a late entry, because the late entry would denote that chase car is like waiting, and it just, they never came. So basically, it never happened. Trent, there's a point of no return, so walk us through it.
Yeah, you can see that Trent Beecham's really, it's a slow
He should be
roll.
initiated by then.
And then, and he's a slow roll to angle as well. In the chase position, what more can Forrest Wang do, really? He's trying to match what the lead driver's doing, so his speed is matching Trent's speed, which isn't ideal at that point of the track. So I would say that in this sense, Forrest Wang did a great job of chasing Trent Beecham, despite what Trent Beecham laid down in front of him. So if Trent it looks, he's got a low angle here from outside zone 1 to 2, not really filling the zones, not getting out fully wide. There potentially is a mechanical issue with Trenton's car where he's not able to put the power down completely. Whatever that issue may be, if it is going to show itself in this next run, he's going to have a very hard time keeping up with Forrest Wang.
Yeah, I mean, on paper right now, I think Forrest Wang he's ready to compete. And with the new Formula Drift rules, he actually wanted to be in the Pro Championship, but we have a cutoff as far as drivers to enter. So Forrest Wang took a hiatus for a couple seasons, came back, and just basically, unfortunately, just was not able to petition for his license because the driver list was cut off. So looking forward to seeing Forrest Wang in the 23 season of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. So regardless, I think on paper right now, Forrest Wang, I think he's hungry, is I think the word that comes to my mind in regards to going against Trent Beecham right now.
Definitely. This is probably more than just this event for him. He's showing what he's capable of, definitely, and trying to get a start for 2020.
I feel like he's been in the gym beating up like slabs of meat or something. He's ready to throw down, and there it is right there with his 2JZ powered S15. Yes, sir. Look at that, wall to wall into that third outside zone. Now watch this touch and go. That's a touch and go. So bing bong. Gets off that wall in an inside clip. Like I said, point proven. I mean, that was an absolute dominant lead run right there. Beecham, just not part of the equation. You know, did catch up to him in the second half, but overall, like we said, Forrest Wang was going to come out swinging literally and figuratively.
Yeah, you can see here Forrest Wang's initiation was really smooth. You can see the angle he's running through outside zone 1. Nice transition to 2. He's got a little handbrake pull there, but on throttle, flowing through outside zone 3. And Trenton's taking a tighter line to try to keep up. You can see that Trenton did not have the proximity that we'd like to see at the beginning of the run, and he had to make some pretty big compromises to gain that proximity. You can see how much further in he is there than Forrest Wang is on outside zone 3, and he was like that through outside zone 1, 2, and 3. So that allowed him to gain proximity coming up to the touch and go right here, and then Trenton dove in, hit the clip right here, and then got nice and close on Forrest Wang, but I think it was too little too late.
All right, there we go. So I believe you know the outcome as Lontaine was elaborating on it. How we doing out there, Long Beach? Slide him left for Beecham, right for Forrest Wang, and Forrest Wang gets the win. Forrest Wang in the purple Get Nuts Laboratory, Yellow Speed Racing, Sylvia S15, the 2J power plant, gets the win and advances on. He's going to go against Dean Carnage Carney in the Final Four. All right, so let's go to the other side of the bracket. Already in the Final Four is Dean Carnage Carney and Forrest Wang. Oh, next battle, Rome Charpentier, Kyle Mohan. A lot of buzz behind Rome Charpentier after last weekend. Kyle Mohan as well as his RX-8. Seems like it's dialed, so looking forward to him. Again, Long Beach, California versus La Costa, California. Now living in the IE, Rome Charpentier. So let's see what these boys got.
I can't wait to see how Kyle does in that MX-5. He did so well last weekend in his RX-8. He's getting so much more comfortable in it, and I want to see how that confidence carries over to the MX-5. And hopefully they have the setup similar in that so that he can sort of have the same feel, but we're about to find out.
Here we go. So it looks like Rome will lead. Kyle Mohan will give chase. Look how wide. I mean, the car's square. I feel like Mohan's car, it looks like RC Pro-Am for all those old Nintendo players. Here's Rome Charpentier, another 80s reference there for you, Rome Charpentier. Coming into view now, bringing it all the way out. Nice job. Could have been a little deeper there from Rome, but I think this is strategy coming into play for Rome Charpentier. And that final inside clip doesn't get all the way out to the touch and go. Now keep in mind, Rome Charpentier, this is his pro car. This isn't a backup car. So Rome strategy-wise, keep it out the walls, keep it clean, keep it sterile. But Kyle Mohan, this is his backup car. This is a time attack car that was drifting, and now it's back to going drifting.
He did a great job in the chase, Jared. You know, his proximity wasn't great, but his mimic was pretty strong. You can see that he's running the same line, kind of positioning the car where it needs to be in the chase. Could be closer though. Rome in the lead position, did get into the wall in practice, and maybe he's a little bit gun shy now, so he's not going quite as deep on zone 1, 2. Did okay on number 3 there, and then you can see Kyle coming up in the rear. Kyle isn't really making many compromises. Like I said, he could be closer on proximity, but his mimic is pretty strong, which is great to see in that MX-5.
Now the MX-5 Mazda-Trix renewable lubricants vehicle of Kyle Mohan will lead with Rome Charpentier in the chase position. Like I said, I believe there's a bit of strategy here. Here's the bracket. This is how it shapes up. Like I said, Dean Carney and Forrest Wang already in the mix. They are on one side of the Final Four. Now you can see that top right, Charpentier Mohan, then SN Robbins. Now keep in mind, we will have a third place battle because of seeding was drawing straws. It was a randomizer, not literally drawing straws, but just random selection. So, and we're gonna change it up next, or tomorrow as well. All right, here we go. The BC Racing Custom Coilover Grade 8 of the Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. Kyle the Menace Mohan out front. RCP, Rome Charpentier in the chase position. Looks like he backs off a little bit. Kyle Mohan gets all the way out there, wall to wall. Oh boy, he's digging deep. Tell you what, Kyle Mohan really massaging that MX-5 all the way out there. Kyle Mohan with a great lead run. Rome was right there. I'll tell you what, Long Beach's own Kyle Mohan, lead versus lead, chase versus chase. Walk us through, Ryan, in your mind. Like, I'll tell you what, I think he's figured out his car setup.
That was very impressive.
That was really good.
Where was that last weekend, Jared?
It did exist there, and I think that they're finding just that happy compromise of getting that side bite and getting that forward grip. Go ahead.
Just watching the confidence that Kyle Mohan had here. Look how wide he got out to that wall. He tapped the wall with that tiny little Miata with no rear overhang, basically. On throttle throughout. He did have a big handbrake pull between outside zone 2 and outside zone 3. Really hard to tell with those dark wheels that he has, but there was a handbrake pull between 2 and 3. Right here you can see his transition. Look at that snap to angle right there. Right in the chase position you've got Rome Charpentier. He's right there, nice and close, not giving him an inch. That was a nice battle, Jared. That was really strong from both drivers. We're hoping that maybe we can get a side-by-side. We did request one. I know it does take a second to put that together, so hopefully we're going to get one of those. It'd be nice to see these runs side-by-side, and I'm told there's one coming. This is fantastic. I love watching the side-by-side because you can really compare where the cars are on the track at the same time. Really gives you an idea of what the lead to chase gap is on both runs as well, because that is going to make the difference in the call, really, is that proximity, right? So you want to see how close both drivers are to one another in the chase position.
The side-by-side I think is great, but you know, what's the opposite of going cross-eyed? Like, you know, because I feel like you can't watch them both at the same time, but you kind of see in your peripheral what each driver is doing. I think it does give good perspective as we talk about drone, which you don't have any here for this invitational, but you know, getting that overhead shot, that's the truth serum. But I think the side-by-side is really telling of where the vehicle placement is.
You know those pictures where you have to stare in the middle and then another picture pops out of it? That's what this is. You got to stare at the very middle of the screen.
Oh, there's a dinosaur.
And there's a dinosaur.
Your eyes relax.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what you do, and then you watch both with your peripheral vision.
All right, hoping to get this side by side because what do you guys think out there? What do you guys think? So hear me out. Who thinks that the winner is Rome Charpentier and the BMW, the orange and green BMW? Okay. How many people think it's the bright orange MX-5 of Kyle Mohan? Okay, last but not least, for you new drift fans, it's either driver A, driver B, or who thinks they should go one more time to really decide who wins? Do you guys want to stay here all night? And I guess that, you know what, that's indicative of the drift fan base growing. So I absolutely love that as we are, I think we're just going to go ahead and drop the results. Yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and drop the results. Here we go. Slide them left for Rome, right for Mohan. There's one more time. So it is outnumbered. Looks like Brian Eggert did side with Rome Charpentier, and he was outnumbered over that of Chris Yule and Ryan Lontaine. But regardless, they are going one more time. And you know, if you're going to have a split decision, you want it to kind of go OMT as opposed to, you know, kind of one driver going Rome, one driver going Kyle Mohan. I think that's just a good indicator. What are your thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah, that does happen from time to time, but you're right. It is nice to have just an easy split, let's say.
Here we go, back at it. Michael Essa, Alec Robbins, Michael Essa out front. The SCP Euro BMW doesn't get all the way out there. Does on that second one. Both these guys, they're pro setups. Let's see how they handle that touch and go. Transitioning now into that final clip. Both of them ripping right past. Alec Robbins shoots out a little bit long. Just quickly like that. But these are two very fast drivers through the entirety of the course. Let's take a look with Essa out front and Alec Robbins in chase.
Yeah, I want to see that inside clip one again, Jared. It looked like Essa got in there really fast and had to slow down, and maybe Alec Robbins was trying to avoid a little bit of contact. Well, we'll see that in a second. Essa could have been deeper on outside zone 1, did a good job on outside zone 2, could have been deeper on outside zone 3, and let's look at inside clip 1 right there. See that slowed right down, and then it looked like Robbins was trying to avoid contact with him a little bit there.
All right, and we will now change up the order with Robbins out front. Robbins will now lead. And there is the heads up, the stats. And notably, once again, these are both of their Pro Car setups that you will see at other rounds of the Pro Championship. Here we go. Alec Robbins out front. And Michael S. in the chase position. Coming into that first outside zone. Robbins comes a little bit short. Comes a lot of it short on the outside zone 2. Into zone 3, Essa applying the pressure. Whoa, really flirting with the side of Robbins and his Nissan 350Z. Tapping that inside clip and wrapping it around.
Looked like Alec Robbins got into the wall there at the finish line. If you watch the attitude of his car, it looked like he bumped it and it kind of shot him straight. But I'm focusing really heavily on Mike S.'s chase here. The mimic on that transition coming under the bridge. Watch as Alec Robbins transitions. See the timing with Michael Essa? Even though Alec Robbins didn't go wide on zone 1 or 2, Mike Essa was right there with him on the same line, had a great transition. And then watch Alec Robbins here as he comes to the wall. Right there. Saw a little tap of the wall at the finish line. So watch Michael Essa's transition here. That timing was beautiful.
Yeah.
Really nicely done. His positioning is really good as well. Getting himself right in the pocket, despite the fact that Alec Robbins was not running the required line, let's call it, all the way through.
Yeah, I think it was just cleanliness. And again, both these guys are, they're tiptoeing through the window. Who has the moves like Jagger? I think the needle is definitely going one way or the other. And I'm seeing you guys tap it all in on your results. And I definitely agree with that call. Slide him left for Essa, right for Robbins. And Michael Essa unanimously gets the win. And I kind of emulsifying and adding to your point, I think it was really Michael Essa just really kind of finding that swing, and his tempo was really good, trailing down Alec Robbins.
Yeah, after these drivers have been driving for so long, they just have this level of, they can really predict what the lead driver is going to do. They're behind them and they can see their line and they can sense, what their car is doing, and they see, oh, he's about to transition. So they can time their transition to mimic so well, that sense of timing and that sense of just knowledge of where they are on the track, where they are compared to the other car. There's a lot going on, clearly, especially here with that first corner being blind. You come up and you initiate, and you hope that you're going to end up on the right line coming around outside zone 1 with the right timing and the right positioning on the track. And in this case, Essa's was really perfect behind Alec Robbins.
Yeah, gets a little sketchy. Like I said, those two pro cars, you got a short 4 weeks, not even 4 weeks, because you got to go cross country. You got to get to Atlanta first and make sure your car is 100%. Yep. Hey, thank you to the Tanaka family, the Cascanian family, always great hosts to us here at Formula Drift, and the whole Grand Prix of Long Beach Association. Thank you to the whole association, Mr. Tanaka and the Tanaka family. Thank you so much. And we are going to revisit the one more time battle of Rome Charpentier and Kyle Mohan, which, again, seemed like you guys cheered louder for Mohan. I think Long Beach has a little bit to do with it, but, just not choosing sides. Rome Charpentier is not too far from here, but obviously not as close as Mohan. So you guys are loyal to the soil, literally, as there you go. You got Carney versus Wang and Essa versus TBD. Rome Charpentier, Kyle Mohan, will get them up there to the line, and we will have a third place battle. Make some noise for him. Rome Charpentier and the Garagistic Federal Tires BMW E36. Slide over here and give me some room. All right, slide over here. See what you did there. DJ E-Gas. That's high octane right there. That'll cost you $7 a gallon right there. That's some high octane E-Gas from DJ E-Gas. And now we are seeing Kyle the Menace Mohan. Kyle the Menace Mohan and Rome Charpentier are going back at it. Pull him up into the burnout box.
You have to expect that the track conditions have changed pretty significantly since earlier on. The sun was up when we started practice earlier.
Yep.
Now the sun is definitely down. It's starting to cool off. So the grip that wasn't there before will be there now. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt to that.
Yeah, it's slowing quick, or excuse me, it's cooling very quickly here.
Yeah.
The MX-5 of Kyle Mohan, that is a Mazda MX-5 with an aggressive Mazda Tricks Mohan Racing wide body kit. Again, that was you know, it's the lone rotary in competition, not only here this weekend, but in the entirety of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. There were a few rotaries back in the day, and now Kyle Mohan is the lone starfighter. I know there's some rotary fans out there. The MX-5, this was his comp car for a few years, and we're ready to send it. Now he's piloting his Mazda RX-8, but Rome Charpentier, one to watch. Let's see what Rome's got. He was one to watch last weekend. Amazing qualified 5th, but in regards to qualifying, definitely had a great performance. Whoa! Mohan with the big correction there. You saw him straighten out on initiation, and that let Rome Charpentier gain a lot of ground, and Rome Charpentier par for the course. Brings it on in. So Ryan, unfortunately, I don't know if you saw it. I mean, the only way I could really see it was with Kyle Mohan when he initiated. You saw the headlights go the wrong direction they should be. Watch again.
So those headlights on Rome's car are pretty bright. So look at what happened to, yeah, right there. He straightened up completely, and that's where he lost all of his proximity in the chase position. So Mohan there is going to potentially receive an incomplete in the chase run, but in the lead position, Rome is doing a great job swinging the car from zone to zone. We're gonna have another look of it here. So watch, yeah, you can see right there, the car actually settles fully straight. So Mohan will probably receive an incomplete there for that. We have a list of incompletes for the cars during competition. A spin, straightening, any object.
Hood latch or door opening.
Anything latchable on the car opening, including a hood coming off, or sorry, a roof coming off, which happened last year. So, of course, straightening in that way is considered an incomplete as well. The car, we generally give them a little bit of leeway if the car sort of shimmies straight and keeps, gets back to angle quickly. But you can see there, the car fully settled straight. It settled down flat, and then he had to reinitiate the car. So that's when generally we give an incomplete. So he'd probably have one there. That means that Kyle Mohan will be running at a deficit here. Comparatively, we don't know exactly how Rome's going to do in the chase, but right now Kyle's running on an incomplete.
The advantage would be going towards Rome.
Definitely, yeah.
Here we go. Now we're going to see Mohan out front with Rome Charpentier in the chase position. Flames shooting out of the hood. Nice job there. Always exciting. Creating his own fireworks here. Into that first outside zone. There goes Mohan. Charpentier. Look at Mohan. He's risking it for the biscuit. He knows he's at that deficit. Is that enough? Rome almost had a correction there himself. Rome was kind of flirting. It was definitely not an inactive chase, meaning sandbagging, kind of holding back, but he was kind of dancing loosely, man. He was getting precarious.
Yeah, he did, coming from outside zone 3 to the touch and go there, the angle wasn't ideal. But let's watch here at initiation. It looked like Rome and Kyle both had good initiations. Rome is not as close as we'd like him to be there. And again, Kyle had that handbrake pull from zone 2 to 3. In the chase position there, Rome didn't get fully wide on zone 3, but really got close to Kyle coming through the touch and go to inside clip 1. So right there, Kyle didn't get as wide on outside zone number 1 as he did on the first battle. Outside zone 2, a little bit off the wall there, but a pretty decent line. Again, he had that handbrake pull, and it allowed Rome Charpentier to get a little bit closer. That handbrake pull slowed him down a little bit, so it allowed Rome to kind of get up beside him there a little bit more, which is what we want to see. And then that was the area there where Rome's angle wasn't ideal in the chase, but then he gets really nice and close coming by inside clip 1 through the finish line.
There you go, doing it for the fans. Forrest Wang making his way back up to the start line. The Type S lights are on. That's right, Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. And there it is, Rome Charpentier. Hey, guess what, Kyle Mohan, hats off to you. A great execution. deserved to go one more time, but unfortunately, that mistake on initiation ended up biting you. So, Kyle Mohan, and guess what? We're doing this again tomorrow night. Hey, if you're looking for some Formula Drift gear, it's on sale here in the building. See the Formula Drift tents in between bleachers 16 and 17. Pick up some official Formula Drift gear. Hats, lanyards, sweatshirts, skateboards, bunch of gear. Go check it out. Go see our friends here in the building in between bleachers 16 and 17 for your official Formula Drift gear. If you're just tuning in, we have whittled it down to our top 4. Our top 4 in the Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge at the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach, put on by the Long Beach Grand Prix Association. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, a action-packed weekend. Last year had to shift to late in the year because we all know why, but it's great to see us back on schedule and doing it for our K&N Top 4. K&N, the official air filter of Formula Drift. There's our final 4. Dean Carnage Carney in that HyperNFT.io Dodge Viper. Forrest Wang, great to see his face, and his 2JZ powered Get Nuts Laboratory Yellow Speed Racing S15. And then on the other side of the bracket, you just saw Rome Sharp and TR take out Kyle Mohan, and Michael Essa advances on. So it's going to be Rome versus Essa. And then first up, we're going to be seeing Carney versus Wang.
This is going to be a fun battle, Jared. I'm looking forward to this one. I don't know what kind of history these guys have, but I get the feeling they might be creating some right now.
There's some tension?
No, I'm saying I don't think there is, but they might be creating some right now.
I like this.
It's going to be interesting.
That seems very un-Ryan Lantaine here.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like you just tread lightly, dude. Just like you're not trying. Are you poking the bear right now?
Well, they can't hear me, so this is just for us.
Yeah, they can't hear us right now.
They can't hear us.
Yeah, that Dean Carney, he's a real piece of work. I like him. He's a great drinking buddy, I'll tell you that. And Forrest Wang, I've had some libations with Forrest Wang as well. All right, you ready to send it? Here we go, our first battle, the K&N Air Filters. Top 4, Dean Carney, Forrest Wang. This should be a barn burner. Get ready, kids. You pay for the whole seat, but you're only going to use the edge. Dean Carney out front, Hyper NFT, Dodge Viper. Throwing it down. Here they come into that first outside zone. Dean Carney gets all the way out there. Look at that snappy transition. Woo! Yes, sir. Wow. Dean Carney with the gangster transition under the bridge where he drew some blood. That was a solid transition by Dean. And take a look back at it again, Ryan. Wow. Watch Forrest Wang with this transition. He was almost simultaneous, but didn't get all the way out. Really well done. Let's watch it.
That was an incredible transition. So let's watch it again. Dean Carney here gets out to zone 1. Could have been a little bit better, but the transition, he did have to pull a lot of angle out after that transition. So we would say that transition was fast, but it was not accurate. It looked smooth, but it was not accurate. He had to pull angle out after the transition because he just went absolutely huge. That was massive. And then from outside zone 3, nice transition here to the touch and go. You can see that Dean's running high angle through this area. Had a handbrake pull right there as well. And then Forrest, maybe a little bit lower angle through there. Could have been a little bit better, but wow, that was exciting to watch from Dean Carney. He was definitely on the throttle. The amount of smoke that he's putting down here on the track with that Dodge Viper is impressive.
Yeah, it's smoke, not a judge criteria, but an indicator of good wheel speed, consistent kind of, we call it the smoke trail, the smoke signal, regardless. It kind of shows you know the choppiness of something. I mean, when the tires aren't spinning, it's not going to create smoke. So wheel speed will create smoke. And again, if you're in traditional motorsports, you're in traditional racing, spinning tire, not always a good thing. No. Not a good thing, not at all. You want to meet the rubber where it meets the road. So here, again, just an indicator, not a judge criteria.
He was heavy on the throttle, and this is what we love to see. Let's see what Forrest Wang can do now on his lead run with Dean chasing.
Here we go, out front, Forrest Wang. Let's get nuts. The Get Nuts Laboratory head scientist coming into view of our judges. Slowly gets out there. I like the rolling it. Whoa, look at Forrest Wang. Dean Carney on the door of the S15. Oh, doctor, look at that.
Oh, no.
Oh, Dean Carney has to back off. Was there contact? Maybe lost in the smoke. Talk about a lot of smoke here, Ryan. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? It's a magic gag. We're not even in Vegas. What's going on here?
Uh-oh. Look what our friend Ed has. It looks like Dean Carney may have transitioned too early after the touch, or coming up to the touch and go, and that could have been
outside zone 3 to the touch and go.
Yeah, it could have been a case of being lost in the smoke, as you were saying. So looking here at where Forrest Wang ends up about the same distance, but nice and close on outside zone 2. Great transition that was much more accurate. So watch Dean Carney here as he transitions. See, gets the angle, goes back straight, and then kicks the car to angle again. So that could be an incomplete from Dean Carney in the chase, as he did have that transition kind of botched on his part. You can see he had a bobble there in the chase position behind Forrest Wang as they transitioned from outside zone 1 to outside zone 2. He did get really close on Forrest Wang here, but I think he may have got lost in the smoke, as you said.
I think that was a smart case for Dean Carney. You got to think, he's got his pro car. Forrest has nothing, not nothing to lose, but he doesn't have a Formula Drift Pro round. So I think this is going to be really telling here. So watch Forrest Wang, he hangs it out. You approach touch and go, where's Dean? Oh, well, I'd rather transition early as opposed to hitting that wall, riding off your car, and then you have, let's call it 3 weeks, because it's got to take you a week to get out to Atlanta. I think that's a smart move. Unfortunately for him, I believe that's going to knock him out unofficially. Slide him left for Dean Carney, right for Forrest Wang. Forrest Wang gets the win, but guess what? In pro competition, we don't have a consolation battle for third place because we have qualifying. Because it's randomized, Dean Carney will have a third place battle. So Dean Carney will go against the loser of Rome and Essa. Regardless, the winner goes against Forrest Wang. Forrest Wang is guaranteed a podium spot. TBD for Dean Carney. So we will see how that goes down.
And the fans win because they get to watch more drifting.
More drifting, baby! Rome Charpentier, Michael Essa. Rome Charpentier versus Michael Essa here on the other portion of this battle. So if you have not seen the graphic, Ryan, I know you saw it here last weekend, on Rome Charpentier's E36 BMW, which is an older body style than Michael Essa's. Well, they're both BMWs. On Rome's wing, it says, give moderns hell. What that is implying is, I got an older BMW. E36 is years, what, 91 to 95, 90 to 95, I believe?
Somewhere, yeah, about 92. Because I had a 91 and it was an E30.
Okay.
So 92,
okay, so 92 to 96-ish. Yeah, I think that's E36. And obviously, Michael Essa with a more modern body style, that would be
barely. So that's an E46.
Yeah,
so still not a classic yet, but
no,
still older.
Regardless, it's more modern than his car.
It is, yeah.
So guess which car he's going to give hell?
Probably the E46.
He's going to give Michael Essa, Michael Essa's modern hell. This should be a fun battle to watch. Two pro cars, two very accomplished drivers. When those red lights extinguish, it's time to send it. Here we go. Rome Charpentier will lead. Michael Essa giving chase through the start chicane. Goes across the nose of the modern BMW, now into that first outside zone. Rome gets all the way out there, so does Essa a little later. Good transition. Michael Essa does a really good job of getting that proximity. Doesn't get as deep, but the proximity is very impressive. Is that enough in the judge's eyes? A good straightforward run. I think that's on par with what we saw last weekend. Keeping it consistent, and we said that last weekend. If this is a round of competition, consistency.
These guys are going for it. The speed is definitely there. You can see Essa in the chase position, working hard to maintain proximity. He's matching the line pretty well. Rome could have been deeper on 1 and 2 and 3, but Essa's right there with him. Pretty decent mimic as well. You can see the transitions are pretty well timed. And by the inside clip 1 portion of the track, he's nice and tight on Rome's door. So doing a great job there in the chase position. They are definitely not holding back. They're pushing pretty hard here, putting on a great show for everyone tonight.
Yeah, it looks really good. And this is, so if you want to see more, again, show of hands, who's been to a round of the Formula Drift Pro Championship? Show of hands, who's been to a Formula Drift round, a competition? Okay, that is way too little, way too little. You could raise your fingers. There we go. Okay, this gentleman's just putting up 2 fingers. I don't know if that's a Boy Scout honor thing or he's been to 1 round. Keep it creepy. All right, regardless. Not too far from here in Long Beach. If you're in the stands, join us at the final round, the finale at the House of Drift in Irwindale, California. And our stands are packed now, so for a nominal fee, you can see a ton more drifting or watch every round online, formuladcom/live. Michael Essa out front, Rome Charpentier in the chase position. Let's see how Michael Essa handles that clean air out front. Into that first outside zone, Michael Essa about half car length off, and then another consistency off of that outside zone. Rome Charpentier maybe treading lightly by design. Rome keeping about the same distance from him. Lead versus lead, chase versus chase. Your thoughts, Lantaine?
It looked like Michael Essa didn't quite fulfill his lead driver responsibilities as well as Rome did. And that's just, I'm going to watch the replay here, but it didn't look like he got out as wide on outside zone 1, maybe a little bit further off of that zone, a little bit further off of outside zone 2 as well. And in the chase, Rome is pushing pretty well. He's not as close as you'd like to see him. Maybe we could be, maybe half a car length closer, half a car width closer, but definitely in the mix there. He's not falling behind at all.
It wasn't a total slam dunk by Rome.
It wasn't a total slam dunk. You're right.
And I would kind of call this lead and chase a wash. So I'd say it kind of defaults back to the first battle.
I almost felt like Mike Essa won the chase, but maybe Rome won the lead. So
yeah. Okay.
We know what that means.
What does that mean? That's which way you're leaning? What you mean is what you lean?
Yeah, I think the other two guys already have theirs in, so that's why I'm able to say that.
All right. Well, here we go. Slide them over to the left or to the right or keep in the middle for a one more time battle. Now, keep in mind, waiting in the wings is Forrest Wang. Wang to go against the winner of this battle, and that's a one more time. They're going at it again. Rome Charpentier and Michael Essa, and rightfully so. So these drivers will be getting a fresh set of rubber out back. Thank you guys and gals so much for joining us out here, the Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. So Forrest Wang waits still in the wings, as does Dean Carnage Conti for third place. All right, so who's coming back out here tomorrow night to see some more drifting? See a show of hands. When we come back, we'll see that battle the one more time versus Rome Charpentier and Michael Essa. Don't go anywhere. It'll literally take moments. These guys and gals work fast to get that fresh set of rubber underneath their vehicle to go back at it on this Long Beach track. Again, Forrest Wang, he's already in the final battle. When we come back, who's going to go against Forrest Wang?
For those who don't settle when others do, who will give everything but won't give up. For those who believe in unlimited while others limit themselves. For those who are set free by performance and believe innovation can take you anywhere.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
What's up, guys? I'm Frederick Osbo, driver of the Rockstar Energy Toyota GR Supra.
My name is Simon Olsen. I'm the driver of Boost Race Fuel Toyota GR Supra.
Jerome Charpentier. I'm the pilot of the Garagistic E36.
I'm Travis Rear. This is my 2003 BMW M3.
I'm Ryan Turk, and I drive the Rain-X Toyota Racing Corolla hatchback. I'm Matt Field, and this is my Corvette. Boxers.
Briefs.
Boxers.
A mix.
Boxers.
Boxers, for sure. Or Commando, even.
Does it need to be one here or back home?
Odie. Chris Forsberg.
Odie.
Dylan Hughes.
My spotter, Matt's for sure.
I want to fly.
X-ray vision.
Adjust time.
Being invincible, I guess?
Super strength. Flying.
First drift car was a BMW E30.
The one behind me.
300ZX, a Z32.
Nissan Skyline ER34.
1991 Ford Mustang. I like doing CrossFit, a lot on Metcons, and just doing regular strength.
It was your workout routine. It's not.
Lift engines and work on cars all day. That's about it.
I try and drive about 90 to 100 days a year.
Probably still be racing motocross.
Brain surgeon, maybe? I wouldn't want that for my worst enemy.
I have no idea.
Oh, that's a tricky one. I would probably guess dirt bikes.
I don't ever have one pickup line. It's always say something mean, get right to the point, but not a dickhead, and then bring it back full circle and make them realize you're a human being. I thought you were supposed to make me laugh.
Welcome back to the streets of Long Beach. Turns 9, 10, 11 of this IndyCar IMSA track. As the hot laps go down, we got Misco out here giving some BMW hot laps. Thanks for joining us out here. Corey Hosford in the building. Thank you, Corey Hosford. Chris Mady, K&N, the official air filter of Formula Drift. We are in the K&N air filter final four. Here we go, back at it, the one more time battle. Rome Charpentier, Michael Essa. In that third outside zone, Rome Charpentier, good angle, gets digs and digs deep. And that final inside clip. Man, Ryan, they're ready to get at it, man. Just sweep the leg. Put him in a body bag, Johnny.
Mike Essa poured on the proximity that time.
Yeah.
You could see that he was pushing a lot harder. He said, okay, what I did last time didn't work. I'm going to push harder. Look at him on the same line. Nice transition there in the chase and lead, going from 1 to 2. The proximity is what we're really looking at right now, because Mike Essa is right there with Rome. You can see that proximity from start to finish. It was almost even from start to finish. He didn't really fluctuate, and that's what we love to see. The same amount of proximity, close proximity from start to finish. That looked really good. And Rome did a great job in the lead as well. Placed the car in the right areas on the track. So now it is up to Mike Essa to lay down what he considers to be his best attempt at a lead run. And in the chase position, we're going to be looking for the same amount of proximity from Rome. So he's going to have to really pour on that proximity. He's going to have to stay close. He's going to have to mimic the line, the transitions, the angle from start to finish.
Consistency right back at it. Here we go. Michael Essa in the start chicane. No cones hit. We got a clean start. Consistency in that chase position. Rome needs to deliver that. We saw that from Michael Essa. Can he do that? Rome Charpentier in the chase. Look at this. I love this. Just the pace of this overall. Rome falling back a little bit there on that chase. Oh, Michael Essa. Here's a shovel. Can you dig it? Michael Essa can. Really deep on that third and final outside zone. Wow, really well done by both the drivers. Make some noise for Rome Charpentier and Michael Essa. Woo!
Michael Essa put a real exclamation point on his run when he went wide at outside zone 3 there. That was phenomenal. You can see that he widened his drive from start to finish. It's like he said, okay, the last run wasn't wide enough. Here's a couple of feet extra. nice and closer to the wall and outside zone 1. Same thing on 2. It's like he's the same distance from every wall except 3, all the way out to that wall. That was a beautiful job. You can see that in the chase position, Rome was close, but he wasn't as close as Essa was on his chase run throughout. Rome had an area, I think he got a little, wow, look at how close he was on the wall there outside zone 3. Rome had to make a compromise on the line in a couple of areas, especially I think on zone 1 and 2, and maybe going in from 2 to 3. You can see Rome tighten the line up there on the inside clip, but might not have been quite enough as he was a little further behind throughout the majority of the run.
Impressive regardless. Make some noise for him. Rome and Michael Essa. Left for Charpentier and right for Michael Essa. Essa gets the win. He's going to the finals, but Rome Charpentier could still get 3rd place against Dean Carnage Carney. So 2 more battles left, 4 more cars, 3 trophies, 1 overall winner here tonight. But again, we're doing this all again tomorrow, so don't go anywhere because we are set for our finals. Forrest Wang versus Michael Essa, Dean Carnage Carney versus Rome Charpentier. So as we talked about, Wang not in the Pro Championship, but definitely looking forward to seeing him in the 2023 season. If you're here in the building, remember, on your way out or now, we got a moment. We're just changing some tires, and we're going to be back out here because we're going to be seeing Rome Charpentier versus Dean Carney for 3rd place, and then the finals. Oh, man, that should be a good one. Forrest Wang versus Michael Essa. But we have our Formula Drift gear. How we doing? See you out there in the stands. You see yourself on the big screen? Is that you? There it is. Remember, join us, not here, not just tomorrow, but also the 7 remaining rounds of the Formula Drift Championship. Atlanta, Orlando, E-Town, New Jersey, St. Louis, Missouri, Monroe, Washington, Grantsville, Utah, and the finale here in Irwindale, California. When we come back, 3rd place battle, Dean Carnage Carney versus Rome Charpentier, and then the finals. We're going to go right into it after we see our 3rd place battle, Forrest Wang and Michael Essa, here in the streets of Long Beach for the Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. Don't go anywhere. Rome Charpentier, Dylan Hughes. See what you got, Rome. Dylan Hughes. See if he can step up. He got gas there on that first battle. Rome brings it around. Low and slow, that is the tempo right now. Let's see if they turn it up. Rome throwing some gangster angle at it. And look at Dylan going deeper on the 2nd run. Rome with some awesome angle. A great lead run to follow here. It looks like Dylan past that touch and go. Just a quick little flick of the wrist and back up the hill, Ryan. I think there was a, don't know where Hunter's at, but here we go. Jeff Jones leading. Frederick Osbo giving chase. Jeff Jones initiating into that first front flip. And look at that transition. Wow. Well done. Look at Osbo just nicking that course marker. Jeff Jones swinging for the fences. Fills that 2nd outside zone into that 2nd front flip outside of the keyhole. Oh, Jeff Jones shot outside wide. Then tries to tighten it up there on that touch and go. And then Jeff Jones across that front flip. Castro comes in across the nose of LZ's S15. Down to that front flip. Oh, LZ, great composure there. No nervousness whatsoever as Castro now comes in that first outside zone and the 2nd in the keyhole. Both of them filling that 2nd outside zone. Oh man, LZ being absolutely soaked in smoke. But still, so from whatever happened in 32 to now here in 16, you know what? I said he was nervous, not. Here we go, Matt Field and Von Gittin Jr. The scenarios play out as the tires burn on. Matt Field initiates into that front flip. Right there, look at him. Matt Field just wraps it around that front flip. Now going to that first outside zone, some wavering by both the drivers in that 2nd outside zone. Right there, riding the line is, woo! Oh, doctor, look at this! Both these guys showing up, toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, body parts being shredded off. Shredded, descended to end it. Matt Field and Von Gittin Jr. out front. Matt Field in the chase position. Who's coming out on top? Odie missing some of those carbon Kevlar bits. Wraps it around that front clip. Gets a little closer. Doesn't have that bumper on. And look at this big angle. Matt Field with a big correction. Oh boy. And Matt Field is that completely incomplete. Kind of came out of power. And now coming back down the hill. Guys, is that an incomplete? But the contact, Ryan, I hear you screaming, hooting and hollering. Is that enough? Wow. Welcome back, as that was Atlanta last year. That's what we're going to be doing in just under a month, as we will be at Michelin Raceway, Braselton, Georgia. And right now we are on the streets of Long Beach. We are live. My name's Jared Deanna. Joining me in the announcing booth doing double duty, my co-host and one of the 3 Formula GF judges, Ryan Lontaine. Ryan, this is kind of what I expected here. You know, Forrest Wang had something to prove. Michael S. is in his pro car. Dean Carney's in his pro car. Rome is in his pro car. You know, right now we're looking at 3rd place. Dean Carney, Rome Charpentier, these guys, you know, I think keeping it safe, playing it safe, let the car survive, not only just for tonight, but also for tomorrow, and then just about a month we'll be in Atlanta.
Yeah, we can't forget we're going to be here tomorrow night as well, and we need these guys to be able to perform tomorrow, but more importantly, of course, for the championship is that in a few weeks they'll be in Atlanta, and like you said, it's a long drive from here to Atlanta, and any repairs you need to make need to fit in there as well, so it's best to keep them off the wall, of course. And like you said, Forrest Wang here, of course, has something to prove. He was not able to enter competition this season, but definitely wanted to, and hopefully he can get his petition, I don't know what you call trying to get in for 2023, get that in order, and we'll have a position to compete next year. So this for him, of course, is an opportunity to say, hey, look what you guys are missing out on. I think we all already know that, but for him to put on a great performance tonight would be, I guess, kind of an exclamation point on that for him.
Yes, factually. So there we are in that Pedal Commander burnout box. Dean Carney, his Hyper NFT. Hyper NFT, if you're wondering what it is, it's all about hyper cars and tracks. They're actually, if you go to the pit area, we are actually in the Round Coliseum arena. Come see the cars up front, talk to the drivers. They were all there. And Hyper NFT, there's a QR code scan. They're actually doing exclusive NFTs for each round of the Formula GF Championship, including liveries and a helmet for each stop. So if you're privy to the NFT game, this is a great introduction into the hypercar world entering the metaverse. So check out hypernft.io and talk to Dean and his team. And also, again, Rome will be there among the other 6 drivers. So all 8 tomorrow in the Coliseum. All right, Rome Charpentier warming the tires. Remember, this is for 3rd place, the final podium spot. And they pull to the start line. Dean Carnage Carney will lead Rome Charpentier, giving chase. Our start chicane being utilized to make sure that there isn't a drag race to the initiation point. So that pairs them up. Let's send it. Here we go. Send it. Here we go. Dean Carnage Carney, Rome Charpentier in the chase position. Let's see how they navigate this. Good straightforward approach by Dean Carney. Rome Charpentier taking a shallower line, but Dean Carney doesn't get all the way out there. Rome actually goes a little deeper than Dean on that second outside zone, but that's not where you want to be. Now Rome gains that proximity. This is what we saw with Essa. Just, you know, kept it consistent, but just kept that same kind of buffer. It's like, you know, kids dancing. Arm's length, say, don't get too close.
So great initiation from Dean in the lead position there. Good job coming around that first corner. Could have been wider on outside zone 1 and 2. You could see that Rome kind of, maybe on that transition, was a little bit slow coming through the touch and go to inside clip 1. So let's go back there a little bit. Watch Rome in the chase position. See how his rotation kind of paused there as he was rotating the car. Didn't go to full angle right away. Dean Carney, definitely not wide on outside zone 3. Needs to be wider there. You can see that Rome, like you said, went wider than Dean did in the chase position, which of course doesn't put him in a good place proximity-wise, but that's where his car ended up. So coming around here, big e-brake pull there from Dean Carney as he comes by inside clip 1 and then throttling through to the finish. So now that we changed driver positions, Rome Charpentier, of course, does have an opportunity here to go wider on zone 1, 2, and especially zone 3, where Dean was pretty shallow. So we're going to see how Rome will attack the course, and then we need to see proximity from Dean Carney all the way through the run.
Like you said, those are all the deliverables. Can he step up, rise to the occasion? Again, both of them leaving some scraps on the table, but who's going to chow down? and get this final podium spot, aka third place here at our Friday night festivities of Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. Rome Charpentier initiates, garage E-stick, BMW E36, slapping trunk, slapping the base big time, not slapping the wall, but definitely gets close. Rome stepping up, there we go. It seemed like Rome was listening to you, Lantain. You said this is what you needed to do, and he is doing just that. Dean Carney getting a little sloppy. He needs to wear a bib. We're talking about table scraps, who's gonna eat it, who's gonna do what, and I'll tell you what, Charpentier stepped up in a grand way.
I don't know where the proximity was from Dean Carney, and I don't know if he was playing it safe because he thought he was faster through the course, so he gave Rome some room and he expected to catch up. But you see Rome in the lead position, definitely wider on 1, wider on 2, although he wasn't as wide as we'd like to see him. Definitely wider on 3 as well, and Dean only caught up in the last maybe quarter, third of the track, you know, and of course he was inside there. He didn't really get around outside or inside clip number 1 as he should have. You can see there, as Rome comes through with his trunk flapping, did pretty well on 1, could have been wider on 2, and then in the chase there, look at where Dean Carney's car is positioned.
Way shallow.
Way shallow on the inside, so not exactly where we want to see him in the chase position. We'd like to see him mimicking what the lead car is doing. The back of Dean's car should be where the back of Rome's car is. You want to be kind of blending your smoke lines, but what we just saw there was Dean Carney being considerably on the inside.
Here we go, slide him left for Dean Carney, right for Rome Charpentier, and RCP, Rome Charpentier gets the win, gets third place here at our Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge, and our finals are set. Our finals are set, Forrest Wang, Michael Essa. All right, so we should be seeing our finalists. This is it, the Type S finals. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. You see all the drivers, they got those cool LED lights, all the color changing, fully programmable Type S lights. So here we go right into it. Michael Essa, Forrest Wang, the finals are here. Michael Essa and Wang under the bridge. Essa swings wide, Forrest Wang a bit shallow. Down to that final outside zone. Oh man, looks like Forrest Wang got smoked out, could not see. Got phased a little bit there as we take a look at it again. Look, where'd they go? Catch an early flight home from San Diego. It's a magic show. Pop out of the closet, and we got the finals of Formula Drift.
Bing, bang, boom. Here we go,
Bing
initiation.
Bong.
Great job from Mike S. at initiation there. Had maybe a secondary handbrake pull, but you see Forrest Wang right there with him. Bit of a bobble from Forrest Wang on the transition. Mike gets nice and wide. Well, could have been a little bit wider on 3. And right there, it looked like maybe Forrest Wang held onto the angle for a little bit too long before transitioning to the touch and go. Like you said, may have gotten lost in the smoke. So right there, Mike Essa, a couple of feet off of outside zone 1. It looked like Forrest did a great job of kind of placing his car and transitioning, but didn't go wide on outside zone 2. He stayed a little bit on the inside there after the transition. And then right there, you can see Forrest Wang sort of hanging onto that angle a little bit longer than Mike Essa did on the transition before the touch and go. So you can see there the timing was off, and then there was a hesitation in that transition from Forrest Wang. So you wouldn't say that that transition was, it was not quick, it wasn't smooth, and it wasn't accurate. So that's what we look for in a transition, and he didn't have it.
I would say what Wang did earlier with Dean Carnage Carney, that was smoother, but right now he just didn't strike at the right time. So that was the hang-up. It was very sensational what he did with Carney. That's why he's here in the finals. Here we go. Is this the final battle? Are we going to get a winner? Make some noise, Long Beach. Let's send it! These are the finals. Forrest Wang, Michael Essa. Who's going to get the win? Forrest Wang, Get Nuts. At Get Nuts Laboratory, Yellow Speed Racing, S15. Michael Essa gets the door. Forrest Wang taps that Super Doof 2F performance bumper on the wall, shredding the taillights. Wall to wall goes Wang. Essa gets lost in the smoke a little bit, dives in on the inside. And that's a massive correction from Essa. A massive correction from Essa. Lead versus lead, chase versus chase. Ryan, we knew it. Forrest Wang had something to prove. What are your thoughts?
What a phenomenal outside zone 1 from Forrest Wang. The amount of dedication and confidence in your line and in your car. Look at that. A little bit of a bump off of that wall, so maybe a little too deep, but definitely all the way out there. The big story here, of course, though, is Mike Essa transitioning far too early and running out of steam right there because he was on the wrong line and really couldn't maintain that arc. There was no arc. It was more of a straight line to the inside clip. So again, there you see that wall tap from Forrest Wang, but he stays on throttle, transitions to zone 2, out wide there, looking really great with his taillight dangling behind the car. Does a pretty good job of getting up to 3, but Mike Essa, of course, is on the inside a little bit. And watch Essa here as he transitions far, far too early, and it sets him on this line that gets his car straightening up and running out of steam, because I think he would have driven into the side of Forrest Wang had he kept going. He was completely on the wrong line there, just mistimed his transition, probably got lost in that smoke. So watch the transition here, poorly timed, gets straight right there, locks up the front wheels to avoid T-boning Forrest Wang. That was exciting, Jared.
Well, if we have a winner, we'll bring the cars down on the track. We'll announce it right here in front of you, the fans, or those online. We know that Rome Charpentier gets 3rd place here, but who gets the win? Who do you guys think got the win? Is it Michael Essa in the BMW? Or is it Forrest Wang in the purple S15?
The people have spoken.
I feel like Drift fans are just getting, just more and more educated with every round of competition. Overall, Ryan, your thoughts? We're back out here tomorrow night once again. Like I said, all killer, all thriller, no filler.
That was a lot of fun to watch.
It was.
I think the drivers are, the practice that 4 or 5 of them had last weekend really propelled them into this weekend, gave them the confidence to throw the cars wide and really position them where they needed them to be. And now that we have everybody with some practice tonight, tomorrow night's competition is just going to be that much better. So here's a side-by-side comparison. The BC Racing custom coilovers side-by-side. You can see there that Essa did get wide, but Forrest Wang definitely got wider on outside zone 1 and 2. And the big mistake here, of course, that we're talking about is from Mike Essa in the chase position. You can see that Forrest Wang in his chase run, of course, made a little bobble there on the transition, but Mike Essa came to a complete straight position, almost stopped the car there to avoid T-boning Forrest Wang, and then finished through the course. But unfortunately, he's going to get an incomplete, most likely, for that error that he made in the chase position.
All right, we'll bring those. You can see him down there. Make some noise for our final 3 drivers. All right, now your podium here. 3rd place at our Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. 3rd place, driving that Garagistic BMW E36, Rome Charpentier. And now your winner here, Friday Night Lights, the Formula Drift Super Drift Challenge. The winner, we'll see you again here tomorrow night, piloting the Get Nuts Laboratory S15, Forrest Wang is your winner! Forrest Wang gets the win, and that means 2nd place goes to the FCP Euro Liqui Moly Bilstein BMW of Michael Essa. Michael Essa gets 2nd place. Congratulations, Forrest Wang, Michael Essa, and Rome Charpentier. The trophies are over there with the backdrop. ODP, Old Dirty Pandy, and Andy. Go ahead and have some fun. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Trophies and champagne. And we'll be back here tomorrow night. Ryan Lantain, your thoughts? Here again, you kind of just wrap it up.
Just wrap
back
it up.
Here tomorrow.
Just looking forward to tomorrow night, Jared.
Yep.
Like I said, these drivers are all more comfortable now at the track. The temperature is going to be a little cooler tomorrow, so hopefully the track conditions are more consistent, but they just keep getting better and better. Every event we have, every time they get on the track, it just gets better and better.
All right, so thank you, guys and gals, again, presenting the trophies. Thank you so much, Brigadier General Kelly Dickerson from the United States Army, presenting the trophies. Again, Brigadier General Kelly Dickerson from the United States Army, presenting the trophies to our podium finishers, Forrest Wang, Michael Essa, and Rome Charpentier. On behalf of all our Formula Drift staff, We'll see you here, or we'll see you online, because tomorrow night it's all going down once again. I'm Jared Deenda. Send it, Formula Drift Nation.